Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Doug.
And this is We Are Shifting the Story. And this is our introductory episode. So I'm super excited. I'm going to start in and then we will introduce ourselves, I promise. So, have you ever felt like only other women understand the second shift? All that invisible and emotional labor that you do? Just wanting to get home and turn off your phone, take off your bra, eat a good meal, and you look around and there's a whole day's worth of labor that needs to get done in the household. Now, maybe your second shift doesn't look like home and family responsibilities. Maybe it's endless networking meetings, being available to your boss 24/7, or maybe it's the constant pressure to perform like success is the only thing that matters in your life. However it shows up, it's exhausting and it's costing women leaders far too much.
It is way too much.
Way too much. So, I told you we'd introduce ourselves. My name is Jamie, and I'm a doula and a therapist. And I've worked with women for 25 years in these roles. Not together, but 25 years total. And I've seen the unfairness in the systems that women have to put up with. And we have been putting up with. And it's not okay. So this is my reason for We Are Shifting the Story is we're going to talk about how to make these systems work better for women.
And this is not just for women, this is for men too, because when men understand what women are going through and understand what they can do to improve and make it better for women, they'll make it better for themselves as well. So we're on a quest to help everyone. Oh, by the way, I'm Doug. And I've been in the corporate world for many years, mainly in IT. I have an MBA, and I use it regularly. It's part of who I am and what I do. I've seen so much change in the last 30 to 40 years, and I see that there is things that we can do to improve. As far as Jamie and I, we are the parents of 5 kids, and we have enjoyed all 5 of them. Each of them have their own personalities and their own sweet spots of what they thrive in and are able to do. And we want them to succeed in this world and make it better.
But we've managed life
well.
as a dual earner family.
Yes, we have.
And so we're bringing in, I hope, some really good perspective for you guys. I know the personal cost and how these systems impact women, their confidence, what they're willing to sacrifice, all of those pieces. Doug understands the theory and how our leaders are being taught and directed, which is such a key piece to being able to put this all together so we can actually shift the story because it's time.
Well, we need to shift it from a male-centric path to an egalitarian path where both sexes have a part and parcel in what's going on. It's equal but different, and we need to recognize what that equal but different looks like and what benefits on one end and what doesn't benefit on the other, and meld and merge where it needs to.
But the systems are it's such an uphill battle in so many ways. I mean, let me tell a bit about my background. I have a bachelor's in family sciences. So I studied family systems, how families work, how families fall apart, the dysfunctional pieces. I also have a master's in human services, so how do systems impact human beings? And then a master's in mental health counseling, which is how the individual responds to the systems, how we help them to overcome some of the challenges that are inherently in the systems. So there's a lot there that we can take apart. And Doug has his MBA. He also has a bachelor's in family sciences, so he understands how those systems work. So I think, we want to make space for all kinds of conversations on this podcast. And of course, we'll bring in guests and other things where we are not experts, because we are not experts in everything. And we know that.
And we're going to make mistakes. So that's why we need experts from time to time.
Absolutely.
So
Hopefully, more time. But let's face it, right now, too many women are struggling under the old rules. This path to leadership is male-centric. It demands a lot of people, and corporations have benefited from this expectation. I don't know, what would you call it?
It's partly both.
I think you're right, and I think corporations have gotten used to being able to do it. I think in a downturn economy, they become even more greedy with our time and our energy. And we're asked to give more because they're struggling more. And people are struggling to find jobs. They figure they can take advantage of that.
Well, sometimes
I have feelings about that, but
they feel like they need to. And some of these things that we're going to discuss are where maybe some of these tacks that are being taken don't make sense, even though they feel like they make sense in the short term.
And right now, we're seeing women leave corporate in two groups specifically. Women over 50 are leaving corporate. They're done with it. Either that, or they're playing along. They're doing the minimum. They've got their health insurance. They're happy. They're just not going to push themselves. They don't want the leadership positions. They don't want this. They want peace in their life.
Yeah.
They're done. They've seen what this did to the older women, and they're done. They don't want it. And then we have women who are having their first child, who see what's being demanded of them, and they're not willing to give that up.
Right.
And for so many women, they've delayed their childbearing in order to have a career, in order to give that child a financially stable home. And this is where it gets really sad, because what they find out is how unforgiving and harsh the corporate system can be. Not everybody, but a lot of them do find that. And so they're being forced to, here's a career that I've built. Here's the security I've built for this child that I've waited for and worked to have. And now I have the child, and I have this dream of what kind of parent I want to be and how I want to be and what I want to give them. And these two worlds are colliding. And I don't know about you, that's just not fair. It's just not fair.
Your life's never fair.
I know it's not fair, but you're asking to make an impossible choice here.
Well, no choice is impossible.
But right now, as the system stands, it's
we need
really
to
hard.
understand how to make choices that will make things better, not just propagate a system that is as it's been for the last literally 100 years.
Right. And for those of you that have left corporate, I hope you haven't tuned out, because you matter too. You are a leader. If you are an entrepreneur, you're out doing your own thing, you're living in the gig economy, you're a leader. And
you are.
Your voice needs to be heard in this, because again, some of these systems are not fair to you either.
And when you're in the entrepreneurial space, leadership looks different, and you can go after and get mentoring in certain aspects of leadership, and it might be doing you more harm than good. On the other hand, women seem to show that their entrepreneurial endeavors take longer to
scale, but in the long term, they succeed at a higher level.
Exactly.
So, but why does that happen, and what does it mean if you're starting out? And that's important for you to know. So I'm super excited to welcome you to the podcast. We are shifting the story.
And I am excited to have you join us on this path. Learn where we learn, find our foibles a little bit. We would love to have you comment. We want to hear hey, I agree with you 100%. We also want to hear you're full of shit type situation.
I don't know if I want to hear that, but I would like to hear what you'd like to learn about, or if you find research that's challenged what we've found. I would love to know that.
We
That's
do
how we
want the
grow.
challenge.
That's how we
We
grow.
need the challenge. And if we're presenting new ideas that differ from what you are finding, we want to hear about it. Provide the information. We'll be giving you where we're getting this information from, so that you have it, and it will be down in the comments when we're presenting, so you can look that up.
And subscribe. Hit that
So,
subscribe button.
so yes,
So you don't miss an episode, and so you can help us guide the
and
future of this.
and make sure you like these videos as well. That helps us as well as helps you and helps others to find us.
So here's the thing, guys. Next week, we're going to be talking about time management. And I was known as the feminist therapist in my counseling group. People knew me as that because I do advocate hard, and I talked a lot about the inequalities that women face. So that was my nickname. I was the feminist therapist. But I love that because I do stand for women. I think what really kind of toppled me over into doing this is that last week, like many of you, I'm on an entrepreneurial journey, and I was listening to a workshop on time management, and the gentleman was very successful, had done very well. And it just hit me at so many different points in that workshop how male-centric his view was and what he was teaching was. And it made me sad.
I remember you going in there and going, I need to do a workshop on time management. This just doesn't work. There's so many things. This is male-centric, and it doesn't work for all women. Well, if it doesn't work for all women, it doesn't work for all men either. So there is something that can be learned from a woman's perspective that can help men out as well.
I think, two of the things that really struck me, he said we all have the same 24 hours.
We do.
I'm going to say that's malarkey.
It's not malarkey.
Factually, we have 24 hours, but what we have available to us and what responsibilities we have to fulfill is very different between men and women. And so just saying we have the same 24 hours and you just do what I do. I mean, Doug, I can tell you, I've had women walk into the therapy office. They're tired. Their eyes are bloodshot. They're crying. And they're telling me that everybody's told them that the only way they're going to have time for self-care is if they get up earlier. They're already up feeding the baby 3 times, or they're taking care of the toddler who had a nightmare, or maybe they're just straightening up the house, or they were at that networking dinner all night. Just get up earlier? Malarkey.
I've also heard the people who sit there and say, if your house isn't perfectly clean, you're not staying up late enough. So how do you get time for yourself and then meet what all these societal expectations if you're not giving yourself the time that you need? Yes, we have all the same 24 hours, but is getting up earlier the answer?
Well, it seems
not always.
It seems to be the most common advice that's passed around, because that was not one client. That's been multiple clients over the years who've come in just crying. I had one come in and she just said, "Stop. If you're going to tell me to get up earlier, I'm walking out of here." And I'm like, "I'm not going to tell you that." And she said, "Are you sure?" I said, "I'm sure. And if I do say it, you can walk out of this office and I will not charge your card." And she was happy because she knew I was going to lose my fee if I said it. But I don't say that, so I didn't have anything to lose. The other thing was he talked about how he outlined his planner, and he talked about how he had 16 ways of color coding to show what different tasks were. I looked at Doug and I'm like, oh my gosh. I would say I need a nap and I need to burn the planner.
She did. She did.
I did. I would be so overstimulated if I saw that much in my planner. I could not handle it. I am a simple girl. We are going to simplify things in here, and we're going to help you to have a simpler way of working with this time management. And we're going to talk about when it all falls apart, because inevitably it will. There will be something that throws you completely off. But how are we going to deal with that? We have to talk about that too. I never hear that in time management workshops.
I know she's the three largest rocks in the bucket and the 10 million other things that need to get done in a day, and how do you get everything to fit. And she knows how to get everything into that bucket so it's not overfilling.
Not always. Sometimes I make an intentional choice to let something go.
Exactly.
Sometimes I intentionally decide it's not important enough.
But the three biggest rocks always get placed.
They always have to be placed. Yeah, always. The most important thing, and we've got to simplify these systems. You know what? Complicating the systems is not helping us. We already carry the emotional and mental load. I'm going to talk about all of this next week in depth. So I'm super excited. I don't want to give it all away right now, but that was such an awakening to me on how male-centric. I even went back to Covey's work, and there's a lot of male-centric pieces in there. There's, I've been invited to a couple of leadership conferences where some of the bigwigs in time management, and when you look at the outline, the synopsis, it's just like, oh my gosh, we just keep passing along the same information, the same
stuff
sayings.
that doesn't seem to work.
You have the same 24 hours in the day, but we're not taking into account what real life is all about. So I want this to give you some fresh insights. I want you to have some laughs with us. Hopefully we're going to laugh a lot on here, because some of this stuff, like I said, some of this is just ridiculous. We expect. And I hope to give you some actionable tools, because that's what you need, right? I could give you all the theory in the world. Doug can give you all the theory. But who the hell cares about theory when it comes down to I need my planner to work for me, not against me. And so we're going to talk about all of those things. And we're not going to tell you to get up earlier. We're not going to tell you to have a planner with 16 different tabs. No. We're going to make this a whole heck of a lot easier. And we're going to keep you from burning out so that you can make intentional, conscious choices about your time and your energy.
So if you're ready to stop playing by the rules that don't serve you and start leading in a way that feels powerful, sustainable, and authentic, you're in the right place.
We are here for you.
We are here for you.
And it's time for an evolution. It's time for things to change. So welcome to Shifting the Story, and we'll see you next week where we talk about time management.
Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss our content. And please, if you feel this content is good,
let us know.
Let us know, and also invite your friends to join, because we feel like this is going to be valuable for you as well as for us. So,
all right, guys.
Have a good one.
Peace out. Have a great day.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.